everyone, welcome to Creator TV. I'm Amateo Ra here with my good friend Elijah Ray.
Good to be here.
It's good to be here, and we just called in the whole band of light.
We are here officially.
We've landed.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to be featuring you today. This is actually our first episode of Creator TV where we take people very much like you who are passionate about bringing in change and consciousness and just pure love into the world and sharing it with many. So that's what Creator TV features, and we're so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's an honor to be a part of this kind of blast-off episode, and it's an honor to be just hanging with my dear brothers today and sharing this love with everyone who's watching right now.
Excellent. So I've had the experience of being able to enjoy Elijah and the Band of Light on multiple occasions. I've gotten to attend a lot of unique shows, everything from intimate living room gatherings to sort of more party fiesta style. And can you just share with everyone a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, well, firstly, I just love to love. And the way I love to love is through my voice. I love to sing, I love to make music, and I love to compose music. So there's kind of a few different areas on the top of the list, because it's a long list.
Sure.
We're all very multifaceted, but the focus at this moment is really through the music, and the music of the Band of Light is what we call this group. That is a growing collective of individuals from around the world who are connecting into this frequency, into a movement, and saying, yeah, I'm in the band. Like, I say yes to love, I say yes to living consciously in whatever way that means for me. And so the Band of Light is kind of just a representation or a contribution toward that movement.
Sure.
So what I do is really different every day, but it really, at this moment, looks like making music, putting myself out there more and more these days, and sharing this music with as many people as possible, because I feel the power of music. It has the power to bring people together. You know, we've seen, like, whether it's a love song or an amazing, like the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and a lot of the people I grew up listening to, they changed the world with songs, with music, with messages. And so I grew up with that kind of inspiration and knowing that I was here to participate in something like that, but with a new flavor and with an extra coherence. I think that is kind of, to me, the sign of the times of our tribe right now, is this coherence that's emerging. So to answer your question directly, what am I doing? I'm working on being the most coherent being I can be, so that whatever I am contributing through music, art, love, business is an example of that kind of coherence.
I super appreciate that, because I do feel that it is coherence that allows us to express. And I do believe that what we are really seeking inside, for all of us, is a coherent stream of self-expression. And I know that that's why people are really drawn to the Creator Course and what we do, because we're really giving them the opportunity to find that for themselves. It's like, we see others doing it, and then we get more permission, right? So I get to see Elijah performing, opening, being silly, and I feel like I can do that too. And I know you've pushed my levels in how I can move, how I can share, and I think you do that for others. And what really, for me, has sort of set your music apart in terms of why it stands out so much in my life is one, because it covers so many different arenas and genres. Everything from like healing sacred sound music to the waters to sort of dance. I've even heard like Cuban influence and some really incredible rhythms in there. And so it's healing, it's sacred, it's fun, it's silly. You're hitting on all of these different elements, and I think that it's the coherence that allows you to do so.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. The cross-genre thing with the music and with the Band of Light is interesting, because I had a lot of feedback early on in being a music producer and producing my own records and all of that, that people were saying, wow, you're so talented, but we don't know what genre this is. Like, we don't know how to promote this. Or I had people in the music industry who told me that really early on in my career.
I believe it.
Right? And they said, it's great, but we don't know what to do with it. You know, and so it's been equal parts blessing, but also a challenge to feel like this really is just about music. It's not about a label of, you know, this is the kind of genre that I'm trying to be the poster boy of. It's not. I'm not interested in that. I love to make music. I love to make people smile. I love to make people dance. I love to feel the music move me. So whatever genre that is of each day, it really is different every day. And so I think we've been cultivating this catalog of music that in the future will be looked back upon as the soundtrack to our awakening.
Right.
Because the awakening doesn't have a color or a genre or a race or a creed.
Sure.
Awakening is just awakening, and this music is coming from the inspiration for our collective awakening and helping to helping to fan the flames of our awakening.
Absolutely.
That's what it's for.
And Awaken is the name of your new album, is that right?
It's called Arrival.
Arrival, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, Arrival.
Indeed.
So, I do believe that this is the music of awakening, and I believe that it's medicinal music because it helps you awaken just by being engaged with it. In what you just shared, I had a question, which I think I'm really curious about because you are such a creative person, and you're a person who does dynamic creativity, and I want to know, what do you do to drop into your creative zone? What helps you? What lends you to finding that place? Because when you're in that place, it's very sensitive, I find. It's very unique, and it's very unique to each of us, but the more I've learned about other people's containers, the more I can drop into my own.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Because I feel the answer to that is so unique to each of us, like you said. So the way that I drop into the creative space is to create space. Sounds really simple. And it is, actually.
Yeah.
But for instance, first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, and this happens about every morning. Sometimes I forget, and I wake up and I start thinking about what I'm supposed to do that day, and it takes me like 5 minutes into that process. I'm like, wait a minute, wait, stop. Hold on, let's come back. Sometimes I even go lay back down if I was like got up and I was really inspired to go get on the computer and write something, and it's like, wait, hold on, stop. Let's come back, and I'll go lay back down on my bed or just sit down on the floor and just put my feet on the earth and just create space. And so what is creating space? It can be as simple as breathing, and breathing into my heart, just feeling my heartbeat, feeling the spaciousness in all of my cells and the space in between my cells, and feeling the space in between my DNA strands and the water lubrication in between my DNA strands and the space in there, and just going into creating spaciousness for the arrival of the presence that I am to guide me through the day. And that's a stream of words that can look different in each moment.
Sure.
I just invite you who are watching, if you're inspired by that, just to explore that. Just what does creating space look like for you? But for me, it just looks like sitting down, sometimes even picking up my guitar and just playing without a sense of needing to go anywhere, or breathing without a sense of needing to accomplish anything. And that's how I drop into the zone. And from that place, the overflow of the presence can guide me and can direct me.
Wow, that was super, super beautiful. I think that's really the nexus of what this is about. Even just assessing that the universe is 99.9999% space.
Right.
Right? And so how we can interpret that and then utilize that acknowledgement, that wisdom, that awareness into our lives and what we create, because it is so easy to be focused and be on the drive, but a lot of times I find that binds things up, or tries to I get the image of like people in Japan getting into a monorail, just like cramming that it's not space, it's dense and it's condensed. So really opening space for new ideas, for new things to come through. I think that's really beautiful. With that, do you have any tips that you would like to offer? Maybe 3 of them, whatever feels called to everybody out there, because I know that there's plenty of people who are going to be watching this who play music, who sing, who have creative ideas, and through what we've been doing, we see that many people have talent but are just on the verge of feeling confident enough to express it.
Yes.
And I'm very curious about how to get them over this hump and how to get them on the other side of that. Do you have anything to share in that regard?
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, let's take a big deep breath into allowing that answer to unfold from an informed place. See what we just did? We just created space. See how much space came into this moment, even for you watching on your computer screen. Wow, there's space. It wasn't like my mind trying to fill the space with an answer. It was all of a sudden, let's create some space and see what wants to unfold from that. And so, right away, as soon as we took a deep breath, here's my first answer. Number one, be creator focused. What does that mean? Well, we could be creation focused, which is focusing on our creations. What do we have to create? What do we have to do next? What do we have to do to get that creation out there? That's creation focus. It's focused on the details.
And focus on the outcomes, right? Like you're focusing on, if I do this, it's going to do this. It's something where you're almost like projecting the results without doing anything. Right. So,
and so that's a really, probably 99.9% of us are, in any given moment, creation focused, because that's kind of how our society is designed, is to keep us in that mode. And so we're focusing on the product, and we're focusing on, oh, what is this guy wearing today? And oh, look at his crazy sacred geometry shirt. And you know, it's like, oh, his long hair. That's being creation focused. We're looking at the creation. But to be creator focused is to see through that and to focus on the creator. Focus on where is all this actually coming from? Who is the I that is even speaking right now? To be creator focused is to invite that spaciousness in, and to be focused there just simply means to be focused on the source of the creation rather than the creation itself. That would be my first answer.
And it sounds like inside of that, you're also focused on bringing the source and almost like acting on behalf of it, right?
You like become an extension of source.
Extension of source. So you become an extension. You are the creator, right? You're the co-creator, and we're all in the band of light, which is this like, it's so great because it's this perfect metaphor. It's this wonderful theme that we do all get to be a part of the band, and it's a band of light. You know, it's so rich, and to let yourself be focused on creator, you're literally, I find, just an open vessel for it to flow, and I tend to like to meet people and then clarify things that I think have sort of become consensus in our conscious sphere. One of the things that gets me a bit is this issue with the mind and the ego, that it's like an enemy or it's something we need to kill, and I just don't really vibe with that. And one of the things that I sort of learned from this same sort of philosophy, if that's what we want to call it, is that by being creator focused, you give your mind the ability to focus on something. You're putting it to creative use. You're putting your energy, your body, your talent, your expression to creative use. So the mind wants to be used, and when we use the mind, we give it direction. And I feel like that's an extension of our own selves. We're really looking for the direction, how to use all of our energy and put it in a direction.
Indeed, that creates coherence. It's like it's when all the parts of the vehicle are in sync. You know, there's like we're to speak in mechanic language. You know, if we're looking under the hood of our car and one part isn't communicating well with another part, then our car doesn't drive well. So, right? So, if our mind and our heart are going two different directions, then that's what we would call incoherent, you know, and that leads to incoherent behaviors and frustration and whatnot. And so to, as you said, give our mind a point of focus, which in the case of what we're just speaking at, if we're focused on the source of where all the creations spring forth from, including our bodies, including you know the things we're looking around at this room and this reality that we've been interacting in, I'd say that's a great place to start. And so I'd love to share number 2.
Sure.
Because I know you asked for 3 things, right?
I did.
So number 2, I would share take some time every day to do what you love to do. So number 1 is to be creator focused.
Yeah.
Number 2, take some time every single day to do what you love to do. And what do you love to do? That could change.
Yeah.
I invite people to explore what that means each day.
That's its own journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that answer could change each day. What do I love to do in my life right now? And maybe it's to be a writer. Great. So no matter what your job is or how you've set up your life until this point, write every day. If you're a singer, sing every day. Number 3, I would just say, love yourself and others as much as possible, and do whatever it takes to live a love-centered life, and put that at the core of your journey, because everything will recreate itself around that. Everything will reorganize itself to greet you and roll out the red carpet, so to speak, for you if you put living a love-centered life at the core of your journey. No matter what your aim is or what our goals are,
Sure.
or what our projects are, if that's at the core of our journey, all of a sudden we have got like the best backer of the whole universe, which is the Creator behind us in that. We've got like, you can think of like how many projects are out there trying to get funded right now.
Right.
You know, like I'm doing an Indiegogo campaign. I've never done that before, but it's been an incredible journey.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's put me into this world of, whoa, everyone is wanting to get support for what. Everyone has got an amazing project. Everyone's got amazing ideas.
Yeah.
And even if you don't think you do, you do.
Right.
And but a lot of the projects that are out there, there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of great ideas and great projects that are asking for support. That are like, hey, get on this bandwagon. Hey, get on my bandwagon. Hey, I don't have time for that bandwagon because I'm getting this one out, right? So we're at this interesting moment where if we put living a love-centered life at the core of our journey, then the Creator has the opportunity. We're flexible enough, like a dancer, we're flexible enough to be moved, to be inspired into position with each other, to be a part of something even greater than what our individual focus is, and what our individual project is, or what our little eyes dreams are for that day and goals are for that day. So that's why I would say staying Creator focused, taking time to do what we love to do every day, but then give it all back to God, and put living a love-centered life at the core of our journey, and then let that inform our movements and our projects and our collaborations.
I think that that's perfect, and I think that that's a fantastic recipe that all of these people can use in their lives to really get centered in themselves, because, you know, that's a field of love, and what we've sort of found with the communities that we've been a part of is that we emanate love, and we continue to build communities where we emanate and turn up the love together. So by finding your place within that, we all get to find our place within that, and so I see you stepping into that place for yourself, and then holding the space open for others, and then they realize they can do that too and hold space for more, and by virtue of the band of light cascades over the planet and creates this incredible movement. That being said, how can everybody support your movement? You're doing an Indiegogo right now. We're really excited for all that you're producing and bringing to the world, and we're really thrilled to be able to, you know, funnel love in all forms to what you're creating, because you've been so impactful. So we'd love to hear you share.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm excited too. I'm so excited about the fact that as of today, and at the time of this interview, we have 5 days left of our campaign. So
getting close, huh?
Getting really close.
Yeah.
And everyone keeps telling me it's all in the last 5 days. That's when it really happens. So, and it's true. I have noticed that a lot of people are plugging in. A lot of people are just high-fiving, supporting the Band of Light. And I want to thank everyone out there who's been a part of you know, just helping us build a foundation underneath the rocket so we can blast it off this year. And part of that foundation is financial energy.
For sure.
Part of that foundation is the right connections and support and team members getting involved. And so we're building a really amazing team. So the way you can support, go on the Indiegogo page and contribute what you can. Share it with your friends, share it with your networks, post a link on Twitter and social media, and join the Band of Light initiative. It's a really amazing journey that we're all on, and I feel like I've kind of offered up my own personal mission in a way to the collective, to, like, because we all have our own mission, right? We all have our own projects, and so it's been an honor for me to consistently rebirth myself through this project and offer it up to the world and say, here's one contribution toward the kinds of projects that have unity consciousness in mind and that have everyone's interests and projects in mind, and give more of a nexus for people to plug in their unique gifts. And so we're about to launch our new website and platform called bandoflight.us.
Nice.
So it's us, it's all of us. And so bandoflight.us. So even if you see this interview, a few weeks down the road, you can go to bandoflight.us and find ways to support the band, download the music, share it with your friends, and join this movement, because it's happening right now.
It is, and it's so amazing because there's so many of us now that it just takes a little bit of support from all of us to make big changes. So I just want to emphasize that for everyone who gets to watch this, whether it's during these 5 days or afterwards, any level of contribution that you can give or that you're called to give makes a huge change, because I feel like a lot of times in our lives vote sort of unconsciously with our money and with our energy in so many different platforms, and now we get to really choose. Now we get to really rise and be like, this is what I want to support. This is what I want to support. Because I think that you're the new model of this new paradigm of media and entertainment and music and movement, and Patricia Cota-Robles calls it the new renaissance of love, right? And I think that you're an ambassador of that. And so yeah, I just, we vote for Elijah and the Band of Light, and I know you guys will too. And thank you so much for sharing so openly and transparently about just what you feel. And just as we close out here, is there any final words that you would like to give to everybody who watches this in regards to like the future and why to be optimistic, or like why in the face of everything should you just love more? Like whatever you're called to share in that regard.
Right now, with everything that's happening on the planet, there are more reasons to love than ever before. When we look at our news feed on Facebook, or for those of you who are still watching the news, there seems to be a lot of reasons to be afraid. There seems to be a lot of reasons to not trust what's happening. But like any birth, whether it's, our own mother who birthed us through, if we could travel back to that moment and look at the trust that was required to bring us into the world, we are like a collective baby that is being born right now. There's an awakening that is happening through our collective body of Gaia, and Gaia being the soul of the earth. And she is birthing something new, and more than ever she needs our trust, and she needs our love and our kindness and our compassion for each other as her children. And so I would just say in closing that if you see drama on your screen, or you see tragic events happening around you, or you feel like you don't know how you're going to pay your rent, then it's time to love more. It's time to trust more. It's time to have even more compassion. Because when we do, and as we do, and as that becomes the baseline, the beat of our life, like, if we're going to bust a beat, let's bust a beat of love, and then let's dance to that beat. Because there's a lot of other beats that are really dramatic that are happening, that are doing their best to kind of mix it up, and they're not helping. What helps is to bust a beat of love and to sing your tune to that beat. So for all of you who are truly creators out there of your own reality, I say let's love more than ever. Thank you so much for doing just that.
Boom, 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 boom.
Bust the beat.